Eggs are one of the most interesting foods from a chemical standpoint. Eggs play an important role in everything from cakes and cookies to meringues and pastry cream. They create structure and stability within a batter. They help thicken and emulsify sauces and custards. They add moisture to cakes and other baked goods and can even act as glue or glaze. Eggs may seem just like liquid with a yolk swimming around enclosed in a shell. In reality, they contain a complex network of proteins, fats, and water, and undergo tremendous changes when heated.
In raw eggs, there are several chains of proteins that are composed of numerous amino acids and thousands of water molecules. The proteins are in a very compact form and are held together by weak bonds. Eggs are in a loose, liquid state because of the negative charges found in the proteins that lead to repulsion. Adding heat forces the eggs to become solid, and this is only possible through a complex system of reorganization of molecules, all brought on by heat.
Applying heat to eggs causes the proteins in eggs to interact with the water molecules. As more and more heat is added, the collision of molecules increases very rapidly. This in turn leads to the weak bonds within the protein globs to break, and the proteins unfold, and new bonds to form among proteins, in turn making a complex web of proteins. Since the protein molecules and the water are forced to interact, their numerous bonds cause the egg whites to turn from a near liquid state to a near solid, rubbery state. All the water is now trapped within the network of proteins.
The yolks of eggs are different from the whites in raw and cooked forms. The proteins in yolks are not only bound to other proteins, they are also bound when heat is added. The protein complex will unfold or denature, allowing changes to take place in the egg. To fat molecules. Fat molecules are nonpolar and carry no charge. The abundance of the fat molecules suppress the slight negative charge in the proteins. Since there is less of a charge, there is less repulsion. Therefore, the yolks of eggs appear to be much more solid than whites. The yolk of an egg also requires more heat and collisions between molecules to become solid as the whites once cooked. Yet again, due to the abundance of fat molecules. The fat molecules in yolks also serve to hold the proteins together and prevent too much water from escaping. Because of this, the yolks will never be as rubbery as the whites when overheated, since the increasing complexity of the protein web in the whites will force out more and more water.
Frying sunny-side-up eggs are the quickest and easiest way to enjoy a runny yolk and crispy edges. For the best results while frying an egg, a low to medium heat should be used. Furthermore, it is a good idea to remove the egg from the pan once the whites appear to have firmed up, as continuous heat will further denature the proteins and remove water. This controlled heating and removal prevents the entire egg from overcooking even after the flame has been turned off. Using fresh eggs is another way to ensure tender, sunny-side-up eggs with crispy edges. The whites and yolk are strongest when fresh, preventing them from breaking down and becoming rubbery.
Of course, not everyone likes their eggs the same ways. Some people prefer boiled eggs, others scrambled. Each way of cooking eggs features its own complex set of scientific properties. Boiling eggs provides an even distribution of heat around the egg. Water will continue to heat up as long as it is on the stove, and this constant increase in heat is not necessary for the egg to cook through, however. This is because the protein in egg whites go from the raw liquid state to a solid one at about 145 degrees Fahrenheit. Yet again, the yolks are a different case. They do not become solid until about 150 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. The yolk is rich in iron, while the whites are rich in amino acids.
Scrambled eggs, a relatively simple method of cooking eggs, actually features a complex relationship between fats and proteins. Many chefs recommend actually adding fat, be it in the form of butter or another egg yolk, to the eggs before scrambling them. The introduction of another fat source allows for the entire mixture to become closer in character to the yolks. Simply put, all the extra fats will prevent more charge between proteins and the loss of water, and therefore the scrambled eggs will be smoother like yolks.
During the actual cooking portion, using a low heat and stirring constantly will allow the eggs to cook evenly when they are scrambled into small pieces. Large pieces cook best at a higher heat and less stirring to allow for greater coagulation among proteins, since excessive proteins would break them apart more, leading to small pieces. The iconic high-protein breakfast foods we eat on a near regular basis are highly complex.
It seems simple to just crack an egg into a hot pan and 5 minutes later be enjoying a runny yolk and crispy energy. However, there are thousands of protein interactions and a complex reorganization of molecules within the eggs that leads to different types of eggs. The evaporation of water from the protein webs lead to rubbery eggs, while the introduction of fats makes them silky and smooth. The complex mechanisms contained within this simple food truly is a testament to the importance of chemistry in our day-to-day lives.
The heat transfer occurs when the egg is placed in boiling water or on a hot pan. The thermal energy is transferred from the water of the pan and causes the proteins in the egg to denature. The second process, denaturation, causes proteins within the egg to change in texture. Because the protein molecules unravel from their naturally coiled state and cause the egg to change to a semi-solid state.